Hey folks, David M. Harmon IV here with behind the scenes support by the lovely Rachel Harmon. Together we are The Foray. Welcome folks, we got a lot to get into here today. Going to talk about this DACA deferred again. So we'll get into that. We're going to talk about the Super Bowl today. If you're around the Super Bowl, keep your eyes and ears open, because there's a lot of intel dropping that things could go down. So be aware, be safe. Also, wanted to tie together some of these false flags that are going on, have been going on, are going to continue to go on, and this whole DACA thing is just another one of those. I'm going to piece that together for you. The whole immigration situation's been nothing but a false flag. So also be aware that the mainstream media is going to continue with all their mantra, continuous, non-stop. That's just the way it's going to be until we can get through all this. Just watched another awesome video live stream from Roy Potter. He's a good guy. If you haven't seen him, I suggest you watch him. Also, you should watch Jordan Sather over at Destroying the Illusion, and Steve Motley is another great one. Also, I believe his name is Sean at SGTReport. Yeah, you guys got to check these people out. And can't leave out Anti-School. Isaac Green over there, he does an excellent job. Give a shout out to you guys, because you've convinced me that I need to start doing the YouTube. I can get to more people this way than I can the last 30 years. I've been trying to tell people that the world we're living in is full of crooks and swindles and misinformation. Going back to Ruby Ridge, Waco, Texas. Those are some of the big ones. The Oklahoma City bombing. It's just ridiculous how we've all been played against each other. So let's get into this whole DACA thing. DACA, what's that? Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals. So what action are they deferring? The legal action of the crime of being here illegally. So they're putting this off, kicking the can down the road, they're deferring it. And they do that because they need the issue. There's some simple solutions to it, and we'll get into that. But first I want to talk about the fact that they are here illegally. That's a crime. Now everybody wants to keep saying, oh well, it's no fault of their own, no fault of their own. A lot of them maybe not. They were brought here as kids, but guess what? At the time they became adults and started trying to figure out things like getting student loans and things, and found out that they aren't legally here, and they knew they're not legally here, now it's their fault that they're here. Now, I'm not one that wants to say we should just deport all of them, but how about this simple solution? They get a residency that's a card or whatever, something that makes them here legal for, let's say, 20 years. That gives them plenty of time to use the existing pathway to citizenship. It's called legal immigration. The pathway's been there. Now, I understand a lot of these people that are under the DACA system, they may not really have ties to their country of origin, or the ability to be deported and have their life uprooted. So, okay, let's let them stay. But until they go through the process of legal immigration and then become citizens, no right to vote, no special welfare things, no government, nothing. You can work, you can be here. The only thing that you have access to on the taxpayer's dime is the jury system. You get access to the legal system and a fair trial and those type of things, but no other freebies. You get access to a court-appointed attorney if something happens and you so need one. With that being said, You commit a crime, you're found guilty of it, and you're under this DACA residency. Your DACA residency's pulled, out you go. That's how it's going to work. That's how it should work. It's only fair. Now, let's talk a little bit more about the way that they're going to try to use this whole DACA thing as a big smokescreen to block a lot of the talk that's going to be coming out now that this Intelligence Committee memo came out. So they've got to have something to draw everybody's attention away, and it's going to be DACA, DACA, DACA. That's what's going to happen, and you watch it in a couple of weeks. They're going to try to paint everybody who wants to keep the law and order the way that it should be. They're going to be racist, hate mongers. That's what the media is going to do. They have a mantra. They always have a mantra. You know the recent one.
Russia, Russia,
So,
Russia. Everyone is a Russian.
we've got to keep our eyes open on this DACA thing and what they're going to do. We really need to push our congressmen to not give into citizenship for these people. There's a pathway already. They already have a pathway. It's called legal immigration. But I understand that a lot of them were brought here as children, and we're going to have to face the fact that we can't just uproot a bunch of people and get rid of them, even though that might be the quote-unquote legal thing to do. It might not be the right thing to do. There's a lot of good people here. The reason they're here is, and another, whose fault is it really? Their parents. They brought them here. Why'd they bring them here? Because they were leaving a shithole country. That's why they brought them here. So the problem is, when this whole immigration system's messed up like it is, it leaves us open for people to abuse it for terrorism, the deep state. Believe me, they really want to get people in here that we don't want in here. We'll go down this other little rabbit hole. Everybody wants to say, oh, these people are here illegally, they're not paying taxes. No, they're paying taxes on some dead guy's social security number. They're getting jobs. That's why they're here. Most of them are here to work. They're here to make a better life for themselves. That's why the left has tried to term them as the dreamers, because they're trying to live the American dream. They're just not doing it quite the right way, but they can't, because the system won't let them. Here's the bottom line. When people come here from other countries illegally, they get social security numbers and all these things so that they can get jobs, they can work, and they send a bunch of money back home. That's why the other countries don't want them to be here legally. That's why the United States doesn't want them to be here legally. They're putting into the system, paying Social Security, FICA, and they're not going to be able to collect on it. Now, the burden goes to the states because all of these welfare programs are funded by the state. Yeah, some of it's paid for by federal money too, but the vast majority of it's paid for out of the states' budgets. So the federal government doesn't care what the states have to pay. They don't care. They're just using this whole immigration system to screw us all over, including the poor people who've tried to come here and make a better life. They're getting screwed over too, because now a lot of them are good people, but they're being forced to do things illegally in order to be here. It's real simple. We just want to know who they are and what they're doing. If you're here and you're a good person and you're contributing to our society and you're not a burden to it, then we want you here. If you love this country and what this country provides, we want you here. If you're going to be a nefarious little criminal type, you're going to get 86. That's how it's going to work. Things are changing, folks, but we need to keep the pressure on our congressmen. The Senate, I think the Senate's already lost. That's going to have to be a do-over. Everybody that's there is pretty much going to have to go. There's a couple of good ones maybe, but the problem is, at that level, there's way too many things that can be done to manipulate the elections. But your congressmen, most congressional districts, people would know when somebody didn't get elected and somehow was given the office. It'd be pretty hard to pull the wool over that local people's eyes. So, that being said, push your congressman. Push your congressman. It worked with the memo. We got the memo right, so let's keep up with pushing our congressmen. Again, I'd like to recommend that everybody watch Roy Potter QA. He's got some good information, good intelligence sources, I'm sure, after being in the military like he was. Steve Motley. You guys got to check out his website, here'syourredpill.com. Lots of good videos. He's got more recommendations than I have. Again, Destroying the Illusion, Jordan Sather. He does excellent work. And Anti-School. You got to watch Anti-School. Great job, Isaac. Let's see. Who'd I leave out that is SGTReport. They've got some really good production stuff. They do a good job putting their videos together over there. And they're stop watching the mainstream media, guys. It's nothing but lies. For every truth, there's at least 3 lies. And even if they give you a truth, it's got so much spin on it, you don't know which way's the front and which way's the back. Just got to stop watching them. Stop supporting them. They're no good. I'm sure you're going to hear when you watch all these other videos and do your own research. That's an important thing. Do your own research. That these guys in the media are controlled by the deep state. That's been that way for a long time. It's just gotten really bad. Well, for now, I guess that's all I've got to say. Be careful at the Super Bowl if you're going, and everybody needs to keep your eyes and ears open because things might get a little dicey. So, yeah, keep it locked and loaded.